Welcome to Storybook Time with John Hess. This is the first in a series of vlogs where I'm going to be reading storybooks, old and new. Our first selection to start off with is a book called Sir Kevon of Devon. It's one of my dad's favorite books, and when he was a child, he passed it down to me, and now I'm going to pass it down to you through reading it. It's a rhyming book, sort of like Dr. Seuss before his time, and I hope you enjoy it. Here we go. Sir Kevon of Devon by Adelaide Hall. Illustrated by Leonard Weisgard. In the days of old, and times gone by, when knights were bold and castles high, there lived in the town of East North Devon a little boy whose name was Kevon, a smallish lad, not quite 11. While the other boys were playing ball, or trying to scale the old north wall, or sailing little paper boats around and around in castle moats, Kevon would sit by the king's great door, watching the knights ride forth to war. Some day, said Kevon, I'll be a knight, and his eyes were shiny as candlelight. The townsfolk smiled at what he was saying, the other boys laughed and went on playing. But in Kevon's heart was a secret dreaming, of armors and lances and banners streaming, of galloping off with a clink and a rattle, to slay a dragon or fight a battle. Then lo, one day, as he sat outside, the castle gate swung open wide. Ta-ta, the royal trumpet caroled, and forth marched Sir Humbert, the royal herald. Hear ye, he shouted, loud and clear. Townsfolk came running from far and near. Good folk of Devon, Sir Humbert cried, a monster stalks through our countryside. It isn't a giant, it isn't a dragon, but as high as a horse, and broad as a wagon. It goes with a clash and a crash and a rattle. It smashes our barns, it frightens our cattle. Our bravest knights have fled the land, and disaster stalks on every hand. The townspeople trembled like leaves in a breeze. Then they ran into houses, they climbed into trees. They died in the haystacks and barrels and stables. They hid under benches and fences and tables. Did I say everyone? No, not quite. There still stood Kevon, with eyes all bright. With shoulders high and uplifted head. I'll fight this monster, Sir Kevon said. His small voice seemed loud as thunder. People peeked out of and over and under. People said, oh, and ah, and ooh, as they peered for a better view. While straight toward the castle marched little Kevon, the bravest lad in the town of Devon, a smallish boy, not quite 11. His footsteps sounded, brave but small, as he pattered along down the marble hall. And there he stood, quite alone, eyeing the king on his golden throne. With a puzzled smile, the king looked down. Who's this? The bravest man in town? He started to laugh in sheer surprise. Then he saw the look in Kevon's eyes. Brave men, thought the king, are the gifts and surprises. They come in all shapes and they come in all sizes. He sent for his queen, he sent for his sages, his silversmith, armorsmith, swordsmith, and pages. They were scurrying, hurrying, bustling about, then playing with the drawbridge, and Kevon swept out. He was dressed in armor, all shiny and bright. His helmet was plumed with red and with white. He carried a sword and a shield and a mace, but proudest of all was the look on his face. He mounted his steed, he flourished his sword, then he galloped away, and the townsfolk all roared. He rode in the mountains higher and higher till he came to a cave near North Abingfordshire. And there he found the monster, no! Just a little old man with a beard like snow. Good sire, said Kevon, I have come from the east. I am seeking a monster, a terrible beast. Alas and alack, sir, the old fellow stated, that hideous beast is a thing I created. I'm a harmless old man, And my name, sir, is Amos. I'm sort of inventor, though not really famous. I took some old armor, a lantern or two, a helmet, some lead, and some thread, and some glue. I put in some wheels, and I put in a coil, some rings, and some springs, and some goose grease and oil. The thing began ranting and panting about. I hid in this cave, and I'm scared to come out. And all at once came a crashing and smashing and humming. Look out, bellowed Amos. The monster is coming. The monster did come, but Kevin stood fast. He raised his sword, and the creature stormed past. Whack went his sword, whoosh went his mace, but the monster roared on at a furious pace. Halt! Shouted Kevin. I command you to stop! But on with the thing, with a clump and a clop. I can't stab it, thought Kevin. It's hard as a kettle. It wasn't to reason. Its brains are all metal. So we'll just have to chase it through country and town. Sooner or later, it has got to run down. He chased it for days, and he chased it for weeks, through meadows and forests and valleys and creeks. He chased it up the mountain and chased it down. He chased it at last into old Devon town. Straight past the castle of Courtly the king. Then all of a sudden, something went ping. With a boing and a whir and a few feeble ticks, that monster went down like 10 tons of bricks. Right up on its head leaped brave little Kevin, looking proud as 10 peacocks. Or maybe 11. People peeked out of, and over and under. Up went a roar like a crashing of thunder. Out came this king in his long royal gown, with his silvery sword and his jewel-studded crown. The monster is dead, sire, said Kevin politely, and oh, he looked fearless and peerless and knightly. The king raised his sword, and he touched Kevin's head. I dub you Sir Kevin of Devon, he said. Long live Sir Kevin, the townsfolk cried, the bravest knight in the countryside. And there stood Kevin, with eyes all bright. He had dreamed his dream, he'd been ready to fight. He had proved himself worthy of being a knight. And that is Sir Kevin of Devon. That's a book. Hope you liked it.